We're with Michael Fulks, the independent candidate for the 2nd Congressional District. Thanks for being with us today.
I appreciate the offer. Thank you.
All right, Michael, tell us in about a minute or so, why is it that you're running for office?
Well, as the independent, I find that I agree with some of what each party stands for, but like a lot of the people that I've met in the district this year, I reject the extremists in both parties, so that neither party truly speaks for me. And what I want to do is take that common man voice and take it to Washington, because we really lack it there badly.
You know, jobs and the economy, the #1 issue of this election cycle. You're from rural Oklahoma. Certainly you know a lot about that. What would you do to try to boost the economy and bring jobs to the 2nd Congressional District?
I think the companies that are leaving our area have made a really bad mistake, because they're leaving a lot of skills behind. We have a lot of good people that work very hard and give a lot of dedication to companies. What I've been doing for the past several years is working with individuals and small businesses, helping them take their items to the internet. I also work with one of the leading trainers of people who work in assisted living facilities. So we're gaining the skills that we need to be able to handle the new jobs that are coming in our growth industries.
Let's talk a little bit about health care. Obviously, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld the Health Care Reform Act. What's your plan if you get elected for health care?
I like several of the items that we found in health care. The fact that a pre-existing condition will no longer prevent you from getting health care. However, I found that it fails us. It fails us in that it gives a company a profit margin. It guarantees them that they will be in business. I would have much preferred had we gone with a single payer system, and I'm still looking at options when I go to Washington.
All right. The nation's debt and budget deficit, obviously a very big issue as well. What would you like to see happen when it comes to spending in the national debt?
I'd like to see us actually create a national budget for a change. I'd like to see one that's created that does not assume that we're necessarily going to have growth. We need to see a flatline budget, and for that it's going to be shared pain. It's not all going to come from the middle classes, and neither is it all going to come from the super wealthy.
Let's talk a little bit about Social Security. With every election cycle, we get a little closer to Social Security running out of money. What's your plan for Social Security?
Our most successful federal program to date. I mean, we have the same number of people, same percentage of people who rely on Social Security for their retirement that we did in 1975. I think that speaks to a lot of what's good for it. However, if we would simply take the cap off at 110,000 roughly and allow it to and just continue taking the payroll taxes from as income increases, we would see that it would fund it for the foreseeable future.
All right, let's talk about the approval ratings for Congress. Right now it's at its lowest point in history. Some polls have it around 12. Some people have it even down to about 9%. Yes. If you get elected, what could you do to try to make the public believe in Congress again?
Well, the big problem with Congress is all the big money that's there and pulling the strings behind the doors that we can't get into. So transparency. I have run as the only candidate from this district who has refused to accept any special interest money whatsoever, not a single dime. I'm the only one that can say that. Now, you take that to Washington. I don't have special interests that I have to answer to. That's going to take a true voice of Oklahoma to Washington, which we haven't had in a very long time.
Right. And final question. Some say that America no longer can afford to be the peacekeeper of the world. As we move forward, what do you think the role of the U.S. military should be?
It needs to still protect our national interests. I question some of what they're doing there. We had DOD recently this summer put out a request for bids to have contractors go to Afghanistan and do seismic surveys. Now, the only reason I know to do seismic surveys is for oil domes. Why is our military spending our tax dollars to investigate oil in Afghanistan? Would that not be best left to the companies that will actually exploit those resources?
All right, Michael Fulks, thanks very much.
Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.